In a quiet corner of the galaxy, a curious alien named Zori visited Earth for the first time. She was tall, with skin that shimmered in shades of pale blue and soft lavender under Earth's sun. Her large, luminous eyes blinked with wonder at everything around her, but nothing captivated her more than her human guide, Jake, and the strange habit he had called makeup. One morning, Zori sat across from Jake as he dabbed a strange brush against his skin. He swiped a powder across his nose and cheeks, looking intently into a small, shiny circle he called a mirror. Zori tilted her head, her tendrils shimmering with curiosity. "Human, why are you painting your face?" she asked, genuinely baffled. Jake paused, chuckling. "Oh, this isn't painting, it's makeup. Humans wear it to look dull, to look different, maybe even better. Some people wear it to feel more confident, and others just think it's fun." Zori blinked her wide eyes, staring intently at Jake's face. "But you looked like you before. Now you look like you, but shinier." Jake laughed and handed her a small, round container. "Here, try it. This is blush. It makes your cheeks pinker." Zori examined the blush with great interest, holding it up to her cheek, but instead of dabbing it gently, she smeared a thick line of bright pink across her face. "Am I now pink enough?" Jake snorted, holding back laughter. "Maybe a little more practice." She gazed back, clearly undeterred by her less-than-perfect start. "This is fascinating. On my planet, we only paint walls. You humans paint yourselves. Is it like camouflage?" Jake shook his head, smiling. "Sometimes yes, but mostly it's just for fun. Here, try this." He handed her a tube of lipstick. Zori twisted the tube open, revealing a vibrant red color. She studied it carefully, unsure how it worked. "Is this for eating?" No, you put it on your lips." Oh, Zori cautiously pressed the lipstick to her mouth, but smeared it wildly, coloring not only her lips but half her chin. "I look ready for battle." "Yes." Jake couldn't contain his laughter. "Maybe a very messy battle." Zori's face brightened. "So makeup is like war paint. Humans paint themselves to prepare for the day." Jake nodded, struggling to hold back more laughter. "Something like that." "Yeah." With newfound excitement, Zori rummaged through Jake's makeup bag, pulling out different items. She held up a black pencil with a pointed tip. "And this, is it for drawing? Like with your human art?" "Kind of. It's an eyeliner. You use it around your eyes to make them look bigger or more defined." Zori nodded, attempting to apply it, but somehow managed to draw thick lines that stretched halfway down her face. Her big alien eyes now looked as if they'd sprouted wings. She examined herself in the mirror, smiling proudly. "I look powerful." Jake tried to keep a straight face, realizing how intense Zori looked with smudged lines, lipstick on her chin, and pink streaks across her cheeks. "Definitely powerful." Zori, her eyes gleamed with excitement. "Humans are so strange. You cover your faces with powders and colors to look more like yourselves, but also not like yourselves." Jake shrugged. "It's complicated, I guess. But it's about feeling good, or trying on a new version of yourself. We like to experiment." Zori beamed. "Experimenting is something I can understand. We are also fond of trying new things on my planet." She lifted the blush again, this time dipping a brush in it, and carefully dusted her forehead, creating a pinkish halo around her head. "Am I experimenting correctly?" Jake nodded, grinning. "You're definitely giving it a unique spin." Zori's tentacle-like hair shimmered as she continued her exploration, layering different powders and colors. She stacked eyeshadows in odd places, drawing lines down her arms and even painting her fingers. "Now I am ready to blend in with Earthlings." Jake scratched his head, wondering what she'd think of the next human custom she'd encounter. Zori, now fully decked out in what could only be described as a colorful explosion of makeup, turned to Jake with a triumphant smile. "What do you think? Do I look more Earthling now?" Jake couldn't help but laugh. "You definitely look unique, that's for sure." Zori tilted her head, examining herself in the mirror. "I think I have achieved artistic greatness." "But you said makeup is for confidence. Does that mean I can also think more confidently now?" Jake raised an eyebrow. "Well, I guess it could help. You know, if you feel good about how you look, you might feel better about doing things. But you don't have to wear makeup to be confident, Zori. It's just one way people express themselves." Zori pondered this, her tendrils wriggling in thought. "So makeup is not just about covering your face. It is like a costume. You wear it to be someone else for a while." Jake nodded. "Exactly. You can wear whatever you want, change your look, and feel like a different version of yourself. Some people do it for fun, some for special occasions, and some just because they like it. Zori grinned mischievously. And if I wore this makeup all the time, would humans mistake me for one of them? Jake chuckled. Maybe. I don't think anyone would recognize you as an alien, at least not right away. With a gleam in her eye, Zori stood up, fully embracing the idea. Then I shall go out into the world, looking as human as possible. I want to see how they react to my earthly transformation. She marched toward the door, her colorful face leading the way. Jake hesitated. Wait, Zori, are you sure about this? You might attract a lot of attention. But Zori was already out the door, confidently strutting down the street. People turned to stare as she walked by, some with confused expressions, others smiling or whispering to their friends. Zori paid no mind, basking in the new attention. This must be what it feels like to be admired, she thought, her glowing skin radiating even more under the sunlight. She found a group of humans gathered at a cafe, chatting over coffee and pastries. Zori approached them, her steps slow and deliberate, feeling the weight of all eyes on her. The humans fell silent, their eyes widening at her unusual appearance. One woman raised an eyebrow. Ah, excuse me, are you? Okay, Zori grinned widely. Of course I am more than okay, she said confidently. I have become one with your kind. I am one of you. She struck a dramatic pose, her pink cheeks and bold eyeliner adding to the intensity of the moment. The woman stared at her for a moment, clearly unsure what to make of this bold declaration. Then she smiled awkwardly. Oh, I like your look. Very, bold, Zori beamed, her heart swelling with pride. Bold is good, yes, the woman nodded slowly. Yeah, I guess so. You're definitely standing out. Zori's eyes sparkled. Good. I wish to stand out. That is what makeup is for. Yes, the woman shrugged. Well, not always. Some people just wear it to look nice, but I guess if it makes you feel good, that's what matters. Zori tilted her head again, thinking about the woman's words. Makeup makes humans feel good. It helps them fit in or stand out, depending on how they want to feel. She gave the woman a playful wink. I feel like a queen, she said, holding her head high, her tendrils swaying dramatically. The woman laughed, clearly amused by Zori's confidence. A queen, huh? Well, you're definitely something. Zori turned to leave the cafe, her heart racing with excitement. As she stepped outside, she was met with more stares, some curious, others confused. It was a strange feeling, being so noticed, but she liked it. Maybe the Earthlings had a point with their obsession with appearances. Maybe, just maybe, there was more to it than she first thought. Later that day, Zori returned to Jake's apartment, still wearing her bold makeup. She didn't want to take it off yet, she felt. Different, in a way she couldn't quite explain. Maybe makeup wasn't just about looking human. Maybe it was about feeling human, too. Jake looked up from the couch, his eyes widening when he saw her. Whoa, Zori. You really went all out. Her Zori smiled, her face covered in a rainbow of colors. I did. I wore it to see if I could blend in. How do I look? Jake chuckled. You look memorable. Zori glanced at herself in the mirror again. You're right. I look like a masterpiece, and I feel so alive. Jake grinned. Well, it's your canvas. You can paint it however you want. Zori's eyes twinkled. I think I will. I want to experiment with more colors, more shapes, more creativity. The possibilities are endless. She stepped toward the makeup kit once again, eager to dive into more experiments, unaware that her journey into human expression was just beginning. The world, it seemed, had so many colors, and Zori was just getting started. Zori's excitement bubbled over as she dug deeper into Jake's makeup collection. She pulled out a small jar of glitter and stared at it with wide, fascinated eyes. What is this sparkly substance? She asked, holding it up to the light. It looks magical. Jake leaned over from the couch, rubbing his eyes. That's glitter. It's used to add shimmer. People use it for extra sparkle, kind of like making yourself shine more. Zori raised an eyebrow, clearly intrigued. Shine more? You mean you humans can shine too? I thought only the sun did. That Jake chuckled, amused by her innocent curiosity. Not exactly what I meant, but sure, you can shine however you want. It's all about how you feel, right? Zori's expression grew serious, and she set the jar down carefully. I want to shine. I want to sparkle. To glow in the way you humans do when you want to stand out and be seen, she unscrewed the glitter jar and with careful precision began sprinkling it all over her face. Her lavender skin glistened under the glimmering particles, as if she were a star in the night sky. Jake's jaw dropped. "Zori, you look like you're made of stars." "You should have warned me before I was blinded by that shine." Zori grinned, clearly pleased with her new look. "Now I shine like the brightest stars in the sky." Yes, Jake couldn't help but laugh. "Well, you definitely stand out now." Zori twirled around, letting the glitter fall in a shimmering trail behind her. "Good. I want to be noticed. I want to experience everything humans do. Makeup is so expressive, so fun." She picked up a small bottle of nail polish and shook it. "What about this?" Jake groaned playfully. "That's nail polish. People paint their nails with it for decoration, I guess." "It's another way to express yourself." Zori, not missing a beat, immediately applied the polish with exaggerated strokes. She carefully painted each of her long, elegant fingers in a bright neon green shade. "I have never been so artistic," she exclaimed, holding up her hands like she had just created a masterpiece. "My nails are now as magnificent as my face." Jake raised an eyebrow. "You're really going all out with this?" Zori nodded enthusiastically. "Why stop? I have learned that there are so many layers to your human art. You use it on your face, your nails, your hair, your clothes. What other ways do you humans decorate yourselves?" Jake scratched his chin thoughtfully. "Well, some people wear jewelry, and others do stuff like tattoos or piercings." Zori's eyes widened. "Jewelry. More adornments." She grabbed a nearby necklace Jake had left on the counter. "And this? What does it symbolize?" "That's just a necklace," Jake replied with a shrug. "Most people wear it because they like how it looks or because it has sentimental value. It doesn't always symbolize anything, just another way to express yourself." Zori pondered this as she wrapped the necklace around her neck. "I think I understand now. It's about expressing yourself, about showing the world who you are on the outside. But also, something else is happening. It's like telling a story with your body." Jake stared at her, impressed by her insight. "You're right, actually. It's like telling a story or sending a message without saying a word." Zori nodded, a mischievous glint in her eyes. "If I dress like this every day, I wonder how humans will respond. Will they admire my shine? My glittery, colorful self?" Jake thought about it for a moment. "Honestly, they'll probably think you're pretty cool. You're definitely more noticeable now." Zori's face lit up at the thought. "Good. I want to be noticed. I want to be seen." She grabbed more makeup, a bright blue eyeliner this time, and applied it thickly around her eyes, making her gaze even more dramatic. "I will be a walking, talking work of art. I will make every human on Earth stare in awe." Jake laughed. "You're certainly already doing that." Zori didn't stop. She continued to experiment with every item in Jake's makeup kit. A swipe of pink lipstick here, a swirl of gold eyeshadow there. She tried to make her face look like a painting, a canvas filled with wild, bold colors. By the end of it, she looked like an alien version of a modern art masterpiece, colorful, loud, and completely unapologetic. "Jake, do you think humans will ever accept me as their new fashion icon?" Zori asked, looking at herself with a grin. She was thoroughly pleased with her transformation. Jake chuckled, leaning back. "I think you're onto something, Zori. You've got your own style, unique, creative, and definitely unforgettable. You might just start a whole new trend." Zori's eyes sparkled with excitement. "A trend? I will start a trend on Earth. I will teach humans how to shine, how to paint themselves, how to wear their colors." Proudly, she spun around once more, admiring her bold look. The excitement was building inside her, and she couldn't wait to see what would happen next. There was so much more to discover about Earth, and makeup was just the beginning. But Zori wasn't the only one getting swept up in the fun. As she looked at Jake, she noticed he seemed more relaxed, his smile wide as he watched her experiment. "Jake," she said suddenly, "why don't you join me in my transformation? I could teach you how to wear your own colors. We could be partners in creativity." Jake raised an eyebrow, hesitating. "You want me to wear makeup?" Zori nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, I'll give you the full experience. I'll make you as bold and beautiful as I am." Jake chuckled nervously. "Well, I suppose if I'm going to experience Earth culture with you, I can't just be a bystander. Let's do it." Zori immediately dove back into her makeup collection, picking out a bold red lipstick for Jake. "You'll look amazing, trust me." As Jake reluctantly sat down in the chair, Zori grinned from ear to ear. "This is going to be so much fun. Let's see if Earth can handle the both of us, bold and beautiful." And so, the two of them, alien and human, began their hilarious makeup adventure together, each stroke of color marking the start of a new chapter in Zori's exploration of Earth's vibrant culture. But as Zori realized, this was only one small part of her grand experiment, and there was much more to uncover about how humans expressed themselves. What other surprises would Earth have in store for her? Zori carefully dabbed the bright red lipstick on Jake's lips, her eyes focused with a concentration that would have made any makeup artist proud. Jake, on the other hand, could hardly suppress his laughter at the whole situation. "Zori, I don't know if I'm ready for this," Jake said, his voice muffled through his laughter. "This is a lot." Zori smiled broadly. "You're already looking more earthly," she said, beaming. "Now we just need some foundation to make your skin glow. You'll look flawless." Jake chuckled nervously. "Flawless? I'm not sure I'm ready to look flawless, but if you say so." Zori was undeterred. She grabbed a bottle of foundation and started applying it to Jake's face with quick, deliberate motions. "Humans always seem to want to hide their imperfections, but I think your face is just fine as it is." Jake was trying hard to keep still while Zori blended the foundation. "Well, some people like a smoother look, I guess. It's like a mask, but it's not really hiding anything. It's more about creating something." Enhanced, Zori exclaimed, her eyes lighting up. "That's what makeup is. It's an enhancement. Like adding more layers to a painting. A little more sparkle, a little more shine. You're no longer just Jake, you're Jake, the artistic masterpiece." Jake grinned at her enthusiasm. "Okay, I get it now. It's about making the world see you in a way that you want them to." "Right, exactly," Zori responded. "You're starting to understand. But let me finish this. We need some blush next. Something to really make those cheeks pop." Jake couldn't help but laugh as Zori continued her creative assault with blush, dusting it onto his cheeks in what could only be described as a generous amount. "Zori, are you sure about the blush? This is getting intense." Zori tilted her head, examining her work with great care. "It's perfect. You'll be the most radiant human on this planet. I promise the world won't be able to look away." Jake gave her a sideways glance. "If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were planning to enter me in a beauty pageant." Zori stopped for a moment, a thoughtful look on her face. A beauty pageant? What is that? Is it a contest where you humans show who is the most beautiful?" Jake scratched his chin. "Kind of, yeah. People compete by showing off different skills, looks, and talents. It's all about impressing judges and the audience." Zori's eyes sparkled. "I could win a beauty pageant. I could be the most beautiful alien in all of Earth. I'll show off my talents like blending glitter with my skin and wearing bright colors. I would blow their minds." Jake chuckled, clearly amused by her ambitious plan. "You'd definitely leave an impression. I'll tell you that much." Zori, now satisfied with her work, stepped back and took a look at Jake, who was fully decked out in makeup. He looked like a new person, or at least a person who had just stepped out of a very avant-garde fashion show. "Jake, you look fabulous," Zori exclaimed, her voice full of pride. Jake took a moment to look at himself in the mirror. "Well, I guess I look different. But I still feel like myself." Zori nodded thoughtfully. "That's the beauty of it, isn't it? You can wear whatever you want, change your look, and still be you. Makeup isn't just about changing who you are. It's about playing with different sides of yourself, showing off parts of you that are normally hidden." Jake smiled. "Yeah, I guess that's true. You humans really know how to get creative with this stuff." Zori's eyes widened with excitement. "I want to try it on everyone. I want to teach all of Earth how to wear their true colors." Jake laughed. "Well, you've got a pretty big mission ahead of you. But if anyone can do it, it's you." Zori, with a determined look on her face, Zori dashed out the door, ready to spread her newfound knowledge of makeup to the world. She was now on a mission not just to learn about Earth's culture, but to transform it. After all, she had just discovered a powerful way to express herself, and she wasn't about to keep it to herself. Jake, amused by her enthusiasm, followed her out, wondering what would happen next. They wandered through the streets, Zori confidently strutting down the sidewalk, her bright colors and glowing skin attracting attention from everyone they passed. Some people looked on in confusion, while others smiled, clearly impressed by her boldness. Zori wasn't deterred by the stares. "This is only the beginning," she said, grinning at Jake. "I will teach them all to express themselves, to wear their colors like a flag of pride." Jake laughed. "You really do have big plans for this." "I do," Zori replied, her eyes glowing with excitement. "And who knows? Maybe I'll even teach humans to wear colors beyond the visible spectrum." "Think of the possibilities." Jake raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Beyond the visible spectrum? You mean, like ultraviolet makeup, or something even crazier?" Zori grinned slyly. "Exactly. Imagine how much more sparkly Earth could be with a little extra glow. I could teach them to see in new ways they've never even dreamed of." Jake shook his head, chuckling. "You're going to turn the whole planet into a living, breathing art gallery, aren't you?" Zori's eyes shone brighter than ever. "Absolutely. And we'll all be the canvas." As they continued their journey through the city, Zori and Jake passed by more and more humans, all of whom couldn't help but glance at Zori's striking appearance. Some waved at her with a nod of approval, while others whispered to their friends, wondering who this eccentric new figure was. Zori waved back at everyone, thoroughly pleased by the attention. She wasn't just a curious alien anymore, she was a trendsetter, a visionary. And she was about to turn Earth upside down with her new philosophy of self-expression. But as Jake looked at her, he couldn't help but wonder just how far Zori would take her new mission. Would she revolutionize Earth's entire fashion and beauty industry? Would she get into even more bizarre beauty experiments? The possibilities seemed endless, and Jake wasn't sure if the world was ready for the full force of Zori's creativity. But he couldn't help but be excited to see where it would all go. And Zori, she was just getting started. As Zori and Jake continued their journey, Zori's excitement only grew. She had already started teaching the humans around her to embrace their unique beauty and wear their colors proudly. The streets were filled with people experimenting with all sorts of makeup, from neon greens to glittery blues, even some ultraviolet shades that Zori had introduced. Earth had never seen anything quite like it. One evening, after a long day of spreading her artistic vision, Zori and Jake sat on a bench overlooking a bustling park. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow across the scene, and the entire place seemed to be glowing with energy, both from the sunset and the radiant faces of those who had taken Zori's advice to heart. Jake turned to her with a smile. "You know, I think you might have actually changed the world." Zori grinned, her glowing skin sparkling in the fading light. "I think I might have. It's amazing how something as simple as a little bit of paint can make people feel like they can be themselves, like they can shine. I didn't just teach them makeup. I taught them how to express their true selves." Just then, a group of people walked by, all wearing bold, colorful makeup, some sporting wild designs and others with shimmering, iridescent effects. They waved at Zori, calling out excitedly, "Zori, but we love the look." One of them, a teenager with blue streaks in their hair, smiled brightly. "You've changed everything." "Thank you." Zori waved back enthusiastically, her heart swelling with pride. "It's not just me," she said to Jake. "It's all of us. We're all part of this beautiful experiment now." Jake chuckled. "I never thought I'd see the day when Earth became a walking art gallery, but here we are as the night drew on." Zori couldn't shake the feeling that she had truly unlocked something extraordinary on this planet. She had brought an idea of beauty from another world, and now it was spreading like wildfire, with no sign of slowing down. But what truly amazed her was how the makeup had become more than just about appearance. It had become a symbol of self-expression, a way for people to communicate without words, to tell the world who they were on the inside. Just then, a woman approached them, her face covered in intricate designs, eyes glowing with a warm light. She smiled at Zori, her voice filled with gratitude. "I have to thank you, Zori. You've helped me embrace a side of myself I was too afraid to show before. You've made me proud of who I am." Zori's eyes lit up. "That's what it's all about. It's not about changing who you are. It's about revealing who you've always been." On the inside, the woman smiled even wider, clearly touched by Zori's words. She handed her a small, hand-painted gift. "This is for you as a token of our appreciation," she said. "We wanted to thank you for showing us the way." Zori accepted the gift, her heart warm with emotion. "You don't need to thank me," she said softly. "You've all done the hard work. I'm just here to help you see how amazing you already are." Jake looked at Zori with admiration. "I think you found your true calling. You're not just an alien anymore. You're a revolution." Zori looked at the crowd around her, the vibrant faces and radiant personalities that now filled the park. She had started with one simple question: why do humans paint their faces? And had created a movement that had changed the very fabric of Earth's culture. What had begun as a misunderstanding had blossomed into something far more beautiful than she ever could have imagined. As she looked at the people around her, she realized something. This wasn't just about makeup. This was about empowerment, about giving people the freedom to express themselves however they wanted, no matter where they came from. Earth was becoming a place where everyone could shine, not just in appearance but in spirit. And as the sun finally dipped below the horizon, casting the world in a soft glow, Zori knew that this was only the beginning. She had found her purpose on Earth, and it wasn't just about teaching makeup. It was about teaching humanity to embrace the beauty they had within and to wear it proudly for the whole world to see. And as the city sparkled around her, Zori smiled, ready for whatever came next.